Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a lot of stuff to a 2006 BMW. Those things include front hub assembly, front brakes as far as brake pads, rear brake pads, wheel spacers, and then Range Rover wheels and new tires. Stay tuned for that. It'll be fun. So here's the front hubs. Actually, it's the whole hub assembly rather than just the bearing. The bearings are bad in this car. Here's the car. It's a 2006 model 330i sedan E90. These are the wheel adapters. It actually is a 5x120 bolt pattern this way. This is also a 5x120 bolt pattern. These are hub centric, which is very extremely necessary when you buy wheel spacers or wheel adapters. The hub centric ring keeps the wheel from basically flying off, breaking your wheel studs, and all of that mess. Anyways, if you buy wheel spacers, wheel adapters, make sure you get hub centric rings. These are the brake pads for the front. As you can see, just regular brake pads, and then these are the lug nuts that you'll need to put on Range Rover wheels on your BMW. As you can see, it's a cone shape and it goes through the wheel, basically so you don't have to have extended studs, and this part here has to be a specific diameter so that it takes up the gap in the Range Rover wheels. These are the only wheels I've ever seen like this, and I'll show you what I mean here in just a minute. So go ahead and get your jack. Make sure you put it under the spot where you're supposed to jack up a BMW. There's a little piece of plastic under there, like a rectangle shape, very small, maybe 2 inches by 1.5 inches, and that's where you jack it up on a BMW. If you do it anywhere else, it's pretty much going to bend your floor up and screw up everything. So the first thing that we're going to do is go ahead and break these loose. It's a 17mm for a BMW. Alright guys, so I put the wheel spacers on. I wanted to go ahead and see how this stance looked before I actually got done with the whole job. Too anxious, wanted to see how it looked, and it looks really good. The front fitment turned out absolutely exactly how I wanted it, like right in line with the fender. Absolutely perfect. I don't think this has ever been done before, Range Rover wheels on a BMW. These are 20x10 Range Rover Stormer wheels. They're painted black. Goes really nice with this black BMW. And the lug nuts that I use are from an FJ Cruiser. These are FJ Cruiser lug nuts on a BMW with Range Rover wheels. Yeah, sounds crazy, but if you don't know how to put a wheel spacer on, it's very easy. You just put this on, you reuse the OEM lug nuts in these holes, and then you don't use these. You can just keep those, I guess, and then you use the other lug nuts, the Toyota FJ Cruiser lug nuts go on here. And how I was talking about the Range Rover wheels being different from every other wheel I've ever seen, this cone shape on here, let me show you. Let's see. Alright, so here's the size of a regular lug nut, and as you can see, it fits perfectly in this BMW wheel. But if you take this FJ Cruiser lug nut and you put it in here, that cone doesn't go through this hole right there. The cone is supposed to go through the hole. So if you look at it here, you put this in here and it sits right down where it's supposed to, and it doesn't move around. So this hole is much bigger than the other one. As you can see, if I put a regular lug nut through here, it just falls right through. So that's why you need this kind with this seat and this cone on it, so it'll work just perfect. So please do not ever try doing this without these lug nuts. It would be very dangerous and it would not end well at all. So now that we've got this fitted on here, these wheels, we're going to go ahead and start taking apart the front, change the brake pads, change the front bearings, and get it done. So we're going to go ahead and unscrew the caliper. So the bolts are here and same place on the bottom. Very simple. It's an Allen key. I thought this might say what size it was, but I guess not. Anyways, I will have to take the spacer back off because there's also an Allen key that holds this rotor on. Alright guys, so I skipped a little bit. We will need to take off these bolts that hold on the brake caliper, and then well, not the brake caliper, but the piece that actually mounts to the hub itself. And then there's 4 bolts on the back of this, which is your hub assembly, that are really hard to get to. So I'm still working on that right now. Here's an update. Got the new hub on, and I'm about to put the bracket, or put the rotor back on, and then put this bracket on for the caliper. And this brake sensor, getting all new brake sensors also. Alright, so I've got the new brake pads in, and I've got the caliper back on. All I gotta do now is put the bolts back in it, and then put the wheel spacer on, or the wheel adapter, and then the wheel. What I used for a good trick was this. It's just a cheap Harbor Freight C-clamp to squeeze in the brake caliper very slowly. Yes, it takes time, but it works. And then I've got my new wheel sensor in. All I got to do is put it in place, and then we should be good to go. Alright guys, on to the next side. I forgot to tell you that these things are quite hard to put back on. Well, even quite hard to get off. But you just kind of push up in there till you can get that thing where it's supposed to be. That's the easiest way to put it. But let's get this side done now. Well, here it is, guys. Range Rover wheels on a 3 Series BMW. These are 20-inch by 10-inch. If I'm not mistaken, they could be 9s. The front fitment is absolutely perfect. The rear could use just a little bit more. And the car needs some low. Obviously, it needs a set of coilovers on it. But it turned out pretty damn good. I mean, even for it not being on coilovers, it fills up that wheel well very nicely. Let me know what you guys think about it. Let me know if you put Range Rover wheels on a BMW, or let me know that I'm the first to do it. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this with your buddies. And be making some new videos on this here soon, so stay tuned for that. But appreciate your time, and see you all next video.